Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to go over a couple of things here, what I had done wrong. So apparently the reactor wasn't even connected in the first place. So the fact that I made it to the moon without exploding in space is basically a miracle. Basically it is. It's a Stormworks miracle. Because it was able to slide from side to side without any resistance at those speeds in space. Okay, so second thing here, so we release it. You hear it? It connected. Last time it didn't do anything. Then when you open the door, it slides. So it still does the same thing it was supposed to do. But when we landed on the moon, it didn't do anything like that. Alright, now why? Well, two reasons. Reason number one, I didn't have the sliders locked into place. So inside, there's sliders that engage the rods, the fuel rods. Those need to be connected to a connector. And then underneath the craft, there's a connector there. This wasn't connected. So the reactor could slide side to side. And that explains why, that explains why we were doing what we were doing. What you saw there. I was struggling to correct the craft, right? Struggling to do all that. That's why. So, and that's why when I opened the doors, it exploded. The reactor exploded because obviously it had shifted and it was probably glitching into the door. You know, Stormworks, right? So it was probably glitching into the door, and I couldn't see that. I could see it, but I couldn't see it. And the fact that the reactor was on. So the giveaway for me was the fact that the reactor was on. Because, like you hear this one humming away, it's humming away because I turned it on, but if you don't turn it on, the rods don't engage. So yeah, I missed it. Now why would I have missed it? Well, in all the trips that I made to space, honestly, I didn't have that difficult of a time landing. So anyways, here we go. Whoa. Lagging a little bit there. All right. Oops. Really? I guess I got to put some railings up there. That's the first time that's ever happened. Okay, so turn the brakes off. Yeah, this one's warming up finally. But as you saw there, it was stable at least. It didn't break, right? The reactor was stable, and we were producing steam on the moon, which I think is hilarious. So, it works, and we're going to get there. Yeah, I just want to try again. So I've made those two revisions, and I want to try again. I'm going to go back to the moon. It's going to take another hour to get there, but that's okay. It is what it is, right? We can't, you know. We must succeed. We must succeed. So unfortunately, failure is part of the path to success. So sometimes you have to fail in order to define your path to success, if you're able to succeed. Oh, there we go. If you ever get there. All right. So we're all connected, everything's good. Let me turn off the brakes on the shuttle, and now we should have an easier time. So the linear speed, it explains the linear speed. If the reactor was glitching into the door, you know Stormworks, right? It's going to cause physics to be applied in an area where physics are already really low, and all of a sudden you start flying sideways for some reason. And that, it explains everything. So you'll see the difference. The difference will be in between these two launches. Remember when I started to take off, I started to skid sideways, and I'm like, well, why am I skidding sideways? This time there will be no sideways movement, or there shouldn't be any sideways movement. Yeah, so we'll get out there. This might only, I might make it on one shot. You never know. All right. Whoa. You know, I got the, I want to play with this stuff. I built it so I can play with it. Alright, we could probably do this now. Alright. Disconnect the shuttle. Oh, I'll turn the brakes on first. Brakes on. One thing I don't have is a radiation alarm. That's one thing I'll have to add to these vehicles is a radiation alarm. Alright, so that's disconnected. Let's get this out of here. And we'll go back to space. Does this come around? I don't think it comes around. Kind of a strange setup. Alright, turn off the brakes. Here we go. This thing is dangerous. This thing is absolutely dangerous. All right, that's back in place. Let's get to the shuttle. Knock on wood, everything should go just fine. And we should make it. Right, so last time I started sliding sideways, and I thought maybe there was something wrong with the wheels. You'll see this time there will be none of that. Turn the lights on. There won't be any linear movement. Okay, systems, fuel pump, turn this on, 0.8. This, 0.2. And then that's it. That's it. Away we go. Oh, brakes are on. Oh well, it'll still take off even with the brakes on. Whoa! It went sideways a little bit. Alright, let's test the stabilizer. How's that? Stabilizers, alright. It wants to go back. Okay. There may be something else I haven't identified, but that's what I've identified so far. So it's clamped into place now. So in theory, it shouldn't move all the way. Nothing should move that could move all the way to the moon. That's what we want. Right? Because if things start to move and blocks start to touch and then they start to glitch together without doing any damage, it can be really hard to correct those issues. Yeah, so we just want to try and grab those before there are issues. Alright, same thing. We're climbing. Turn it on at around 20,000. Yeah, you can already see how our linear movement sideways. See, it'll catch itself, and then it'll start to lose a little bit of speed, and then it'll speed up again. Right, see, it catches itself. That's fast. We are going fast. Let's see. Main thrusters off. Fuel pump off. I want to save that fuel, wherever that is. 15,000. That's pretty good. All right. And now the final 10,000 feet, and we're into space. Alright. Stabilizers off. And let's make our way to the moon. Let's see which way it pushes us. We'll just roll with it. Looks like it's pushing us that way. So we'll just roll with it this way. Yeah, everything should be good. Everything should be good. Feels a bit better in space. Which way are we? We're slowly going that way, are we? Go around the sunny side. Yeah, all that movement in space. So the reactor wasn't attached. It was only attached to the sliders, but there's no brakes on those sliders. So it could easily move left and right inside the ship. So that explains why I was having trouble when we were getting ready to land, and all of a sudden the stabilizers were getting thrown way off like that, because the reactor weighs like, 6,000, has a value of 6,000, whatever that is. Whoa, what's happening there? I don't know. It has a value of 6,000. I'm gonna save this because that's concerning. We're going straight up, and the game doesn't like that. Would prefer if I was slightly off. So let's go this way then. Let's go this way. Yeah. So okay. So that's what was happening as I was getting close to the moon, and I'm trying to stay straight. Any of that movement, then the reactor starts freely moving left and right. Throwing the spaceship in the direction that it was throwing the spaceship. So that's what I mean. It's hard to explain until you've done the 500 launches. It's like when you're building a boat and you got to splash it in the water a million times, and once you've done your million splashes, you have that eureka moment where you finally understand how your ship works because you built it and you tested it and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, the spaceship is the same thing, right? I've done enough launches. Yeah, sometimes it will crash. That's just the way it is, and sometimes you get frustrated. But to have that many attempts in a row and fail every single attempt over and over and over again is unusual. I've done this enough times. Even if you have a really crappy rocket, it's unusual. But you saw why. That's why the reactor itself was moving around freely at 4,000, 5,000, whatever it weighs. So in low G's, that's throwing you side to side. That's a lot of mass. Right? It wasn't doing catastrophic damage to the vessel, which is strange. It wasn't doing any damage, but it was grabbing the vessel and throwing the vessel. And then the rods, they move the other way. They move this way, in and out freely. So if I try and slow down, the rods shoot forwards. And if I speed up, the rods shoot backwards. And that explains why the rods engaged while I was in flight here to the moon, why the reactor turned itself on. That's why the reactor turned itself on. So, I mean, there's all these kind of like signs in flight, right? They're like, oh, you know, something's wrong. Oh, something's wrong. And then you get there. And fortunately, the only reason I was able to discover it was because I actually we made that one crash landing where I was able to do some repairs and actually check on the reactor, and that's how I knew. So, like I say, I don't build it and then spawn it on the moon and test it. I build it and I visualize it, and I think, will this work? You know, I don't test it. And then I do the testing, and then I'll fly to the moon and crash a million times and be like, okay, well, it didn't work. You know, get frustrated, whatever. That's how I do it. So, yeah, maybe I should have spawned it on the moon and done some testing. But there's no real way. This is the test, right? Us going to the moon right now is the test. Will it do it? Will it succeed? You know, so far, it's all imagination. So when I do succeed, it's really nice, and it's absolutely satisfying. And I know I can. You'll see. I promise you'll see. So far, this flight has been way smoother than the first flight. So far so good. I know I listened to the last video. My microphone levels aren't very good. I'm still kind of working with that. I sounded very loud. So it was a bit close. The microphone setting now is still probably way too loud and way too close. Yeah. So now, if I can make it in one go, if I can get to the moon in one go and land, this time you'll see the difference, and that's because everything in the vehicle, in theory, except for the these that don't work, is locked down. It's anchored. You know, it's magneted to the structure. So if the structure starts moving left or right, everything moves with the structure because it's anchored. It's not attached to a rope. It has a hard point connection. That's the most important thing when it comes to building vehicles and Stormworks that move around. I learned that with the ships. People wonder why you're in a ship and all of a sudden the crane flips up and, you know, catastrophically destroys your ship and you sink. Well, that's why. You need to have connectors locking. Each part of the vehicle that moves has to be anchored. And then when you're moving it, the vehicle has to be stopped, and then you can move around. If there's any movement, you know, Stormworks, right? Things are going to happen. So I'm sure they'll work on that. It just has to do with where the physics are being applied to the vehicle. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, look, we're already so smooth on this one. The controls far better. Look at that. I didn't overshoot. Yeah, I didn't overshoot yet. Blue boat has gone missing. Well, I'm sorry, Blue Boat. I am going to the moon. You didn't get that update. It wasn't. I'm sure it was on Stormworks TV. Right. So with these changes, it's going to make. I still want to launch a satellite as well. I still want to try that out. I want to see if we can get a communication satellite in space. I think that would be so cool. Just so cool. You know, yeah, I can launch something this big. Maybe that's the difference. I am not thinking about the size. The size has to be a lot different. And it could stay in space basically forever, and then I could just come up and refuel it. Yeah, okay. That's what we're going to do next. Big communication satellite. Just a massive satellite. Or a base, a space base. We'll see. I have the reactor now. So we can have basically infinite energy in space. Infinite energy in space. Oh, it's lovely. So lovely. You know, and if they give us a winch that's long enough, we could tether to the planet and have fresh air to the moon. All right. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this is going to be the one. The one. I mean, you know me. I can't leave a failure video up. Can't just leave that up. I have to have some redemption here. Alright, so I need to start turning that way. And I need to start going that way. If you're wondering what's coming out of the reactor, there isn't anything coming out of the reactor, it's just a bug. It is a bug. Where water seems like it's spilling out through the, or it's air bubbles or something going through the the reactor. It's a bug. All right. There we go. There we go. And this one here. Okay. Yeah, I can't just leave a video. You know. Don't post a video for a week and then post an hour and a half video of failed. No. It doesn't work that way. Save this too. I'm already noticing a difference in this flight versus the last one. This one is gonna do it, hopefully. There we go. That movement. Here, we'll slow down a little bit. We'll slow down. Yeah, it's neat. I definitely really enjoy it. The flight is really fun. Flying to the moon. We have way overshot this one. Oh boy. Oh boy. Having too much fun. Yeah, so at some point here I'll just turn it off. I can turn off the thruster and it'll shoot right into the moon. Here, I'm gonna save it here. Save often. Save often. You don't want to come all this way and realize you didn't save, and then you reload it and you're you're sitting on the tarmac waiting to launch. Alright, I think I can turn off the rocket thrusters now. And we'll just coast in. Coast into the moon. So now what we're doing is we have momentum, but we're also using that momentum to carry the craft. It's hard to explain. But by changing the direction of the nose, we're actually changing the direction of where the linear speed is being applied to the vehicle. That's why it's so hard to land on the moon, because it's one blast and now you've changed the direction of that linear speed. So we need to reduce that linear speed as much as possible. If I straighten out too much here, I might start falling away from the moon, so I have to be careful. Because so long as I'm on an angle, I'll be able to, gravity and weight and all that, I'll have that speed. Alright, I'm going to save it here. And then I'll start saving it as approach at different spots here. Because we are basically at the moon. So at some point, obviously, as you see, right, we'll turn around. I'll turn the thruster speed to 0.3. Seemed to work out really well. Okay, maybe I'll flip up here. We'll flip up. Remember I did that last time and I started to get burnt. So we just have to be careful. I guess the only explanation I can find is that there's heat coming off of that. And if you start moving in the direction of the heat, you're moving so fast, maybe. I don't know, that the heat goes, you know how heat works, right? It's so hot, it just comes straight towards you. Burns you. Okay, so now if I want to slow down, you see that? And then I just do that. And now what I've done is, and then we just need to correct this a little bit. There. I've stalled the ship. This is something we weren't able to do last time. So I'm going to save it right now. I'm going to save this as approach. Oh, man. There, 345 probably. There we go. Look at that. Now we weren't able to stay like this last time. It kept moving around. Remember, it kept moving around, and that was because the reactor... Oh, there we go. The reactor was moving around, which was throwing us around. Look at that. We're just... It looks good. It looks good here. Right? We are going down fast. Okay, let's save it here as approach. I do want to turn the stabilizer on. I do want to try it with the stabilizer. Because remember last time it was really throwing us around? Oh, there's the surface. There we go. Oh, this is going to be... I always say this is going to be a good one. Look, if we start moving sideways. Oh boy, I'm all nerves. Oh boy, oh boy. Look at that. Look at that. Oof. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. But did you notice? Okay, the reactor hasn't exploded yet. The reactor is still good. Remember, minimal damage to the craft so far. All we have to do is just lightly, gently touch down, preferably not upside down. Oh, there goes the reactor, right? No, the reactor is still safe. Oh, and we're down. Look at that. We're down. We're down. We're down. Oh, that was all right. That was all right. Nothing caught on fire. Okay, nothing caught on fire. Okay, just need to check on the reactor here. Let me grab a torch because I'll need to repair the door. Remember last time, as soon as we were touching down, it instantly, it would explode instantly. Oh, did it survive? It survived. Only the door got damaged. Oh, this is cool. All right, so let me repair this so I can open the door. Okay, that's that. I think that's all I need. It worked. It worked. It's free. Oh, it's free and it's undamaged. Oh. There you have it. Okay, now let me repair this. Yes. Yes. Okay, so that's the difference. That's the difference between runs. Now, I might not have any jet fuel. That's fine. I'll ditch in the ocean and tow this thing back. The most important thing is that the nuclear reactor made it to the moon. Well, and then I can get back home. That's important too. Yeah, so, I mean, really, like, minimal damage. Did the wings get damaged at all? I don't think so. No damage to the wings. Oh, that was a good one. So now we can see the difference, right? A little bit of damage there. So the batteries, oh, some of my return home gas is gone. That's okay. We still have gas, hopefully, in the ship. This is why I don't have everything. It's not one giant tank, right? There's individual tanks. So some of them can get damaged. And some of them... Okay, good. Okay, so that's that. Now I have to figure out how to get that thing off. And if it will get off. Okay, so let me come around here. And then look at repairing some of the damage. Let's see what we're... Not bad. Like, we're still at 99% electricity. And it's charging. So I'll take it. Just the nose thrusters. I'll take it. And it looks like we still have jet fuel and plenty of fuel. Excellent. So I'm going to save it here on the moon. Okay. Now let's go and... oh, maybe I never actually plugged that reaction wheel in. Now let's go and... It doesn't look like it. See what... see if we can get the reactor off. And then I'll turn it on. We'll get it off and then turn it on. Oh, and then I can bring the truck next, which is super light. Oh, yes, I won't have any of these issues. Okay, perfect. So, let's... and I'll have to do some... I'll have to repair the dock here and all that. Come on. I am happy. I am really, really, really happy right now. Okay, so I think I could just push this thing off. No, I cannot push this thing off. Alrighty, well, does present an unusual problem. Uh-oh, am I stuck here now? I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Oof. Alright, that was a critical fail. That was a critical fail. Oh boy, that was a fail too. Okay, so I just need to repair this control panel here, and then I'll see if I can use the winch to set this thing free. I should have a little hatch here, which lets me crawl in there, so I can repair the microcontrollers if they need it. Okay, and then I guess I need a rope. Let's see if I can deploy the... Oh, the brakes are on. Let's see if I can deploy the legs. Oh, it didn't release. Release true, launch false. So where is it stuck then? It's stuck somewhere on something. Oh yeah, see, it's sliding now. Alright, I turned the brakes off, so just let it slide. Maybe... Yeah, it's doing something. We just have to let it do its thing. Right? If I start messing with it, we'll get explosions, and that's what we don't want. So just give it a little push. Yeah, give it a little push. It's probably... it's tight. I bet you that's what it is. It won't expand because of the connectors. Oh, that makes sense. Because I don't have a release. Ah, yes. Okay, so let's save it here. Let's save it as the moon. Excellent. This is a good one. There. So you see it does work. It does make it. It does make it. Everything, all the safety all the safety's in place. Or it appears to be now. Yeah, there we go. Let's keep pushing it. Could take a minute to unload. Just has to go this way. Oh yeah, it's going. It's going. It's going a little bit faster. A peculiar problem. The truck will be the same way. But the truck isn't as long. This one is just its maximum. I had to I mean it's a nuclear reactor. I tried shifting it. I could probably get rid of that and stuff, but it still has the usual safety measures that, you know, it would need on Earth. Just in case, I thought just in case, let's just make it safe, you know? Alright, so we've got it to there. Let's save it at this point. Yeah, let's save it at this point. You can do it. It'll tip off. And then who knows? It didn't explode last time, but it might explode this time, right? Nope. It just shot away. Oh, the brakes aren't on. Oh no. All right. Let's get rid of that. Let's get ourselves a rope here. I hope it's not stuck now. So let's get a rope. Yeah, well, no, it doesn't appear to be stuck. Oh, look. It's just sunk. Come on. The peculiar problems you got to deal with in space. Huh. Are we going towards it? We are going towards it. I really hope this isn't glitched into the ground. Oh, that's not connected either. Turn the brakes off. Alright, let me see if these brakes work. See if I can flip it over. I did save it, So I did save it, fortunately. Let's see if the button works. Oh, we're stable. That's good. All right. It's the reaction wheel not having any electricity. That's concerning. All right. Explains why my rotation wasn't working. Okay, so the brakes are on now. So whenever I'm done playing around, again, I gotta try and lift this thing up. Hopefully it will. Like that. It's starting to, it's trying to turn. Oh yeah, there we go. It's trying to turn. So let's do that. Just give it that. just gently kind of saying, hey, you can turn. And the brakes are off on it, so if it needs to move around, it can move around. But this is what I learned. You just have to be gentle with the Stormworks stuff, and it'll do its thing. It'll figure itself out. Let's try the legs again. I wonder if I do that and I press the legs. Oh, I can't release the rope anchor because I have this. Let's see here. Oh no, it just wants to do that. Oh, I know. I'll try this one up here. There we go. Success. Really? Oh my goodness. That's something so frustrating, like. You can do it. You can crack now. I bet you if I expand it, yeah. See, look now it's gonna flip. Oh boy. Just flip already. Well, I'll lift it up just a little bit more. Let's see. Lift it up just a little bit. Tweak it just a little bit. It'll go. It'll go. There it goes. Oh, look at the wheels. Oh, I thought I had that fixed. Oh boy. Well, the next reactor I send is going to be set up a little bit better here. Oh, gotta be kidding me. Come on. I'm trying. I'm really trying not to get frustrated here, but this is just, at this point in time, this is just dumb. The way this thing is behaving right now is dumb. Why won't you just flip over? Maybe that'll help it flip over. I don't know. Come on. Spin. Spin. Yeah, that wheel. I thought I rebuilt this side too, but I obviously didn't. Or I forgot to save it. Well, what can I do? I'm going to try and repair this other winch. This is just frustrating. I have to wait for it to want to tip. If it's going to want to tip, I don't know. It's stuck on its side. It's kind of a frustrating problem. Because you would think, okay, I'm going to let it go. And it just flops back that way. So maybe I just have to let it sit for a minute. All right, well, this is pretty much going to do it for this video here. I'm just going to do some more repairs. What I should do is repair this. Let me repair this winch here. Oh boy. The truck has a welder on it, so I'll have free repairs once I get the truck here. That can just sit there for a minute. All right, that seemed to do it. I'm so glad I put those winches up there. I'm so glad. Really? Why are you being so frustrating? Look at how frustrating it's being. Now, how much, let's see. Oh, I think it might be glitched into the ground. Because it's pulling the space shuttle over. Pulling the space shuttle over. Can you please, 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 please? I'm asking you politely. It's flip over. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep going on this. That's gonna do it for today's video. Anyways, I made it. I'm probably just gonna reload it and see if I can get this thing out and see what happens here. Oh, that did it! Oh! Oh! Yeah, 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 yeah. Ah. Houston, we have a problem. Right, we'll just do that. Just do that. Look, it didn't. Oh, it's upright. Yes. Yes. Okay. Whew. Now let's put the brakes on. Yes. Yes. Now we can turn it on. Oh, beautiful. Okay, now we're going to watch it start up. It's too bad I can't fill it up with water. Whoops. All right, well, I just have to assume it's got water in it because I don't have any way of checking it. All right, it's starting up. Let's see what happens. What are we at here? Yeah, another hour. Oh, but it's on the moon. And it's heating up. Alright, well this is going to take a minute. I better leave that there. And I'll deplete the ship. This is going to take a minute. I'll just do some repairs while we're waiting and I'll check on it here in a minute. Do some basic repairs and then I can take off and head back to Earth. This thing's working kind of slow. Oh yeah, the gas torch is the way to go. Ooh, something's happening. All right. All right, let's go check on the reactor and see how it's doing. It should be pretty close to being charged up now. Oh yeah, see it in order for it to stabilize at 500 on the moon, it has to heat up to more than 1,000. And if you do that on Earth, it will explode, right? So I hoped it was going to work. Wow, that was close. So why is that? Well, as soon as you engage it, you start pulling the rods out. It's so cold on the moon that it'll cool down so fast, and you'll see it has a hard time staying at that temperature. It shouldn't. It should hover around 500. Yeah, look, it's starting to slow down now. So that was the problem that I was having, is that I had to add so many rods to give, so it produces so much heat just so it can stay stable. Otherwise, it you know, it's too cold. It sits around 200 or 300 degrees. But we have to watch this until it stops, right? Because they can go, yeah, look, it's 400 degrees. I'm producing steam. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Starting to slow down. Is it going to speed up again? Right? It overheated. It overheated. And now it's... There we go. It bottomed out at 450. So it's just going to find its range. So let me do a little bit more repairs to the ship while it's finding its range. Wish I could set up a... do I have... I don't know. I might have glow sticks. Set up a glow stick here. There, so that's kind of its range. It'll hover between 500 and 550, something like that. See, it's a little bit hotter now. There we go. There we go, and it's working. It's producing electricity. So if I needed to, I could plug this in. Let's see here. I could plug it in. To the spaceship. You know, the spaceship's at 1 now, but if I needed to charge the spaceship, there we go. Alright, so it works. So now all I need to do is repair the shuttle and head back to Earth, and I'll be ready to bring the truck. So thank you so much for watching. We have achieved success, and I will see you in the next one.